had killed the market for, of course. So now this had killed the market for, of course. You're welcome. I'm glad to stay. It's Africa Maria, my colleague in INNOSSETU. Of course, good evening. Today is a Thursday, and welcome back from that chaotic news about Kenya and what, of course, is still going on now, a little bit of it. Yazokulingiza ngakisosezerayo akisoseza. Oh, sorry about that. Of course, this entire week has been a week full of chaos. Within the East Africa, you all know what happened in Kenya. Of course, that has been making the headlines of recent, and yeah, we expect to see peace, and of course, Kenya coming down, and of course, people resuming to their day-to-day work. Of course, like we always do on Thursdays, usually we talk about relationships around the Gulf of course, Black people, and of course, those in Africa and outside Africa. And today's topic is why Black people are navigating, of course, data. Today, really, before I jump into this, but I'm going to give a little bit of what I saw, which is also connected to this topic today. I watched something that was a little bit disturbing, and at times when we see things, other people experiencing things, and the life they're experiencing, or they're in a step where we are all hoping to be, it's a little bit disappointing. We know that a lot of people, because we cannot forget to discuss what dating is, because it is like it is something that fulfills human desires, and of course human needs and nature. I saw this video where a 40 47-year-old man was dating this young girl. She was like 22. They're all black, and he promised a lot. Told this girl like, I wanna have a baby. I wanna be with you. We can start a life. Um, and this man had other women, and this young girl, having grown up, I guess, in a struggling environment, because I'm not going to wake up and say all struggling black women do not deserve to be loved or stuff, because the biggest majority or the biggest percentage, they are struggling really. It is not that the biggest percentage of course, black women are okay, right? The biggest percentage are people who are struggling. The same thing goes to the men. So this girl, I think, fell for this man, and of course, she said that in the long run, the man even took her to the hospital. She removed whatever she was using to prevent herself from conceiving and all that. This man like showed this young girl, he really wants a child, and all he said was like, I have my children, but I don't live with these children. Their mothers took them away. I feel like I want to have a child and all that. Okay. So this girl fell for this man. I'm looking at a man who is old enough to be a father to this girl. um I'm looking at someone who everyone would think is mature enough to make right decision, to make right choices, you know. Anyway, so in the long run, this after, of course, she got pregnant. I think the lady like wanted her to be seen with this dude, and the guy did not want her to be seen with him. So she started questioning that secrecy, like why, like we cannot go together to the store, and more especially when you're having this baby, and you're the one who, we plan to have this baby come in the picture, and all on. But when the man was responding to all these things, the man sounded so disrespectful to not only this woman but even everyone who was around, and like he was so fine with whatever it is and all that. And these were two black people. This is a young girl who has had a first love experience with someone he trusted. And this man kept on saying, you are even too young to be sleeping with me. I'm old, I'm 47. How can you be sleeping with me if you're not a whore? Are you so dumb and stupid and all that? No, this is a 47-year-old man who was talking, younger, who really needed to advise about a lot of things. And it was him who was being stupid. All right. Now, when you wake up and love someone in your circle, when I say circle, I don't want to say the word race. I don't want to speak that word. You have probably there is that comfortability you yourself feel and also expect to feel when you're having this, because these are the people you've been around with. These are the people. Bonna badduse bali wali. Anti era babadde wa? So this is someone he was supposed to listen to, so someone she was supposed to learn from. This is the same person who was actually talking ill, insulting her, calling her all disrespectful names. We are too young. You wanted me. I'm old because you wanted money and all that, and that's why, and all stuff. So I did not look at the situation, but I looked at the age of this particular man, and I was baffled. And everyone was like, how on earth can such a grown up man be behaving like a teenager? And during the argument, he even went ahead and said, I even have seven wives. Hmm? I have seven wives. The seven wives with whom he doesn't even take care of any. So now, this lady going ahead to date this grown up man, she thought probably she has found someone who's going to be understanding, someone who has been experienced in different things, someone who knows how to handle a woman, someone who's going to take care of her. And she didn't know the man was even worse. Was even worse.
wano wabeerewo empiso ojja kusanga abakubi empiso nga n'okubalongoosa surgical grade ng'ebyenda biri bweru ojja kusanga abalongoosezza. Kutangatatera olaba nekyagala likutte
amutadde olugalo ayagala liveeyo ligaana yagenda enviiri z'omwana zonna zituusetuuse omutwe omwana omutwe gumuluma okutansa n'okugyamu ebitulututtu Bino wali osoma biki obaatobako bintu
ngekirawo kuba tebiina bakulu tebiina kunagayo tutegeko biri tebategeera obulungi waggala.
kimanyi navigation is like exploring
Different races. When we look at, of course, why, of course, Black people forming, of course, today's topic doesn't mean that that it is actually it is only the Black individuals or Black Africans that are, of course, navigating relationships from, of course, various races, but we also see, of course, other. I don't know. Atuganya ina muku eddagala lijja muvaayo akabira ngenda mukuba kuba tebamuwadde switi omudadaawo washafu ngenda mukuba aba nfulumira wano tomumuwa looking of course at how, of course, why, of course, we are seeing so many Black people navigating, of course, various races or various, of course, categories of people into relationships. The first and, of course, thing I can't fail to talk about, and I think we even said this sometime back, fetish. Fantasy. Ignorance. By the way, fetish and ignorance, they walk hand in hand. There is a way Black people like there is a way they look at actually they want to get those mixed of course children. They don't look at themselves like engaging in let it be, of course, dating or relationship or love, but they look so much into kids. Actually, the kids are more important than the relationship. That's why The relationships we have seen where young black men are dating older white women, they have not lasted for for a long time. Reason these people of course have gone into menopause and they cannot produce unless when he is a young muzungu. Kitegeera? For women this has of course this has worked for them. The moment you see someone, actually I told you there is a woman I know who travels abroad. He comes back when he's pregnant, gives birth, leaves the kid here, goes back. Alina kati abaana balinganga mukaaga. Abazaala mbagwa mu Bawarabu. Hmm? Omwana wa Jordan. Mpozi yasidde. Abazaala mbagundi Mbawarabu. There is one time I saw a Warabian man.
Omukono gugamba omukono guno ekibatu kuba gulina amaanyi gulinganga ekigere.
Omukono gw'omukazi kyeza balina gyeti.
Baliyo ate abanga tebambanga kiri kiroozi baba whatever n'ebikono ebyala osanga omuntu ekyala kiroozi
nga they are big.
kigaziya tekikomvu.
So a lot of black people have that fetish that I want those mixed kids. Like the kids are more important than the relationship. I said the relationships we have seen, all people have seen it dating between a black and a non-black. These are relationships that have not lasted for a long time. Because these are for men, because if at all a relationship doesn't yield a kid for black men, it is not a relationship. That's why abasajja basiga babasibye abaana. Tegeera? So they think that affirmation for a relationship is bearing kids with that person.
Nomuna bw'olenza oba nti kizaalamu ekire.
Okitegeera? So so when we look at of course the fetish for of course for the kids, they want mixed kids. They are of course they want to travel abroad. Stuff.
There is also like what the mainstream shows. There is that feel that there is that stereotype. There is that, and how you say the ignorance towards these other people. A lot of people would wish to date Indian women because of the soaps, and a lot of women would wish to date Indian men because of the soaps they watch on TV. Okay? Someone says, "Oh, you date this guy, you date an Indian woman, well, she has a nice voice." But most of their voices are in auto-tune. The ones we watch, more especially when they are singing. Most of these people we always see in the Indian movie industry, they are full of surgery. There is someone who was asking, how come that all the Indians we see are a little bit different from the ones in the movies? Do they come from different areas? Most of these people have done cosmetic surgery, plastic surgeries to make them look the way they do now. So So when you look at that, you'll understand that a lot of people take this acting or this scripted life. They compare this to the real life. Say that, yes, we have watched some other successful relationship, but every relationship, it doesn't matter the skin color of the person you're dating. If there is understanding, chiwa chiwe. Because not each and every day there are always challenges in a relationship. There is no perfection, like a lot of people think. Right? Someone say, I'm dating those people because they understand, they take care of women. But we've seen a lot of bazungus who do not take care of women, who do not even take care of the children. And because people think in Africa, women have to hustle to make sure that they find ends meet for their children, and Mzungu takes care of their child and all that. Yes, because some of them are like that because they are given the opportunity. They are capable of doing that, and some others who are even capable may not even do that. And we also have some other black men who are not capable, but they can still do. Because when it comes to taking care of your family, at times there is little to do with the money. There are small things that are very important in a family, and more especially nowadays where people think that when it has to be money all the time, but we get to realize that every time it is not about money. I may be raising a child, but the way I raise that child, I may be perfect in other things, but I may not be perfect in others. That means I cannot be 100% complete. But let's not look at parents, let's look at people who are like together. Okay? At times I would do something I feel like is right and you're seeing, and somebody is seeing like she's not raising the kids well. And I know this is something people hate to be judged about. Whether both the children are your both biological children. And somebody says, so you think I cannot raise these children and stuff? No. There are things that each parent teaches the child. Now, me, I know. I'm going to give me as an example. This is just the truth. It hurts to say, but it is just the truth. I have grown up. My dad passed when I was very young. I cannot even zoom his image. I cannot even know. I try to zoom and see how he looked like, but I cannot collect everything together. Together. But having grown or having raised by a single mother, I'm not trying to say my mom didn't do good. There are a lot of things that I was told, or there are a lot of things I grew up seeing. There are times they do not give me the energy to persevere like other people. Like a woman who has been raised with a father and has seen his father disappoint his mother a million times, but the mother never left. Now, me, that one is someone's nature, but I'm looking at something of the truth remains that each time a man is in the game or a man is in the relationship or marriage, we expect men to be the major caretakers. Now, when you're someone who was raised by a single mom, at times, even no matter how a man wants to, you find yourself doing things and you may not even be able to let this person do what they are supposed to do for you as a family. Though you may feel like, okay, it takes time for you to remember, oh, I'm supposed to, of course, ask about the staff. Oh, I'm supposed to say that probably I'm in need of this. And at the end of the day, you find there is that activeness that you grow up seeing. Each time you see your mother do things, and you know a woman has to be involved. A lot of people take that as an advantage, but at times it creates that lameness within the relationship. Because sometimes I feel men feel they are man enough when they have been given responsibilities. I've seen men who live humble families. I've seen men who live a home where a woman is, of course, is a woman is contributing to a certain percentage of the family, and they are going ahead to marry a woman who is going to contribute typically nothing. Not because of character, because someone will say when a woman is working, she's going to be something else or stuff. But because maybe when they are stopped from doing what their responsibility, they tend to forget. I don't know, maybe that's nature. Me, this is how I see things at times. And at times I'm like, what do they really want? Because of course you've got a woman, you're buying a kilo of sugar, she's buying salt. You decide to buy food, she's buying sauce. You're buying a cup, she's buying a plate. And a man is not going to feel contented with this whole thing. And at the end of the day, you're going to find out he has like 7 other baby mamas out there who actually cannot even contribute to a quarter, not even a quarter, to anything. But this dude is comfortable with it. I think because they remind him each day that you're a man and you're supposed to do this. All right? I don't know. So a lot of women in Africa, most of them think when you're dating outside your race, it is always their race that does bad things. It is always the race the African men that don't know how to love. It is always the African men who cannot take care of their women or of the women. It is not the African men who can let you be whatever. And you realize that most of these people who always have this kind of fetish or this kind of stereotype are people who always claim, I want to be independent. When we go on different social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, when you meet interracial couples that are from different races, you will see that at the times the men are taking it through. Okay? When it is a black woman with a black man, so when it is a black woman with a white man, this white man is always cleaning the house. This is what the camera shows. This white man is always cleaning the house, folding the clothes, cooking some meals. And there is always a caption, this is what my husband does every day. Of course, as the woman is stepping down the door, he pulls the slippers, given the wife, probably maybe they're going to walk around the gardens around their house or the backyard stuff. And everyone will be looking and said, I've never seen a black man do this. I've not seen a black man, of course, trying to make a wife wear slippers. I've not tried to see a black man tying the shoes of the wife. I've not. They start to evaluate. But the black man you have been seeing probably is your father and your mom, and even you have not involved yourself to see what other people out there are doing and stuff. So people end up, this is what I rather date a white man who's going to do this. And the same thing, we have seen other relationships where a black man has married a Mzungu woman. When still it is the black man who is doing all these things, including changing diapers, waking up at night and staying awake. But the truth remains. The truth that lies behind these cameras, it is still the black man who does all those things. There is no white man who does the diaper changing. Mm. It is not there. And if they're there, if they're there, they are not even to the biggest population of people dating. I've seen them being a harsh because at every single time, for you as a woman and you're dating this man, it's either going to be money, or you're dating this person for fame, or you're dating this person to the point that a lot of people don't even know that we have gold diggers who are whites.
Mm.
Because it's very hard for you to, how can Mzungu about your mukosi? But they do this shit. Africans don't know that there are also white or bazungus, there are Asians, there are also other people outside of their own race, outside of African race, that do even more than what they do. We have got whores on the streets, we have got gold diggers who come in for money, we have got, you know, no, you may travel as an African to the US, and you are, of course, uh, probably blessed to have a better job, and then you find this Muzungu and you want to date her, and then another African woman who also wants to date you. The first thing that is going to come in your mind is that this other, you start questioning the existence or the feeling or the connection this other black woman has towards you. And usually, I don't know, maybe she's a gold digger. She has come maybe to, of course, take what is mine. She has, but you're not going to question this other Mzungu. Because this is the world, it shows us that these people are rich. For them, they can have anything they want. But we have got them gold diggers. We have seen Bazungu women shooting dead black men because of assets, because of money, and all that. So I think we have that. To the other story I was telling you, we have seen a lot of people have experienced, a lot of challenging things throughout the relationship that at times most of them tend to give up. Because, you know, and some of them tend to think, probably let me try somewhere else. Maybe I'll get more peace than where I was before. And others will even hate and stop trusting their own because they once did that and they're a little bit afraid. And they're like, probably someone else is going to appreciate me. But at the end of that day, when it comes to relationship, it goes beyond what a lot of people always think about. Innocent, you have anything to say?
So, of course, according to, of course, to what I've seen happening, when we look at the relationships, the interracial relationships that I've seen, all the black people that have gotten, of course, all the black people that have been, of course, that have been in Europe for some good time. These are people that are dating their fellow black people. They are not dating Bazungus.
You have experienced that.
It is these blacks that are within the black community, that are within Africa, that are having that, of course, that fetish for these, of course, white women, for these, of course, white men. I've seen most, even those people that have gone to those countries and they have experienced some let them be these homosexuals. They live here, they candidate, they are black people. At the times, I used to ask myself if at all these people went, of course, to those countries to seek for greener pastures. Why are they making one to the balazubuke? Balazubuka college. Bagala tutawana. Ombali. Katandika okuogana osanyuke. Nze okusinkana atandike nakwoka. Sisuubira nti abadde agenda zuuku. Obudde badde bugenze. I don't think so. Abadde tagenda zuuku. Okay, abadde agenda zuuku. So, then their relationships we have where we find like Africa for now, like they say this is the modern Africa. Where Uganda, we see that Uganda has over 56 tribes. Where we see Tanzania, where we see Kenya having also a number of tribes. But we have seen, of course, before it was actually, it wasn't very easy to find tribes marrying, of course, in other tribes. But we see it today happening, of course, in African societies. So there is a way, of course, the issue of tribe had organized Africans to, of course, to a state like they can't be mixed in any way. Let it be in relationships. These are people that used to marry their own people, people who claim to be their own tribe. These are people that are used to live in the same community. But we have seen people moving outside there, of course, demarcated areas where, of course, they are. These are people that are, of course, that have moved, people that have migrated. We are seeing a lot of people marrying, intermarrying. Recently, we have been watching. Davido's wedding, where a lot of people criticized, like like they can't, like those tribes can't marry. They have a lot of conflicts within those tribes. But we are seeing, of course, people continuously, of course, marrying people from different, of course, tribes in Africa. So should we think that this is a wake up for Africa, for like Africans have realized that we are one people? Is it because of factors of fetish? Is it because of factors of opportunity?
Now, the boundaries, most of the borders have been cut, have been broken, most especially in relationships. We are seeing people, we are now diverse. We see people move from one place to another. People are living with each other. We have seen Somalis who have come here and they are married to Ugandan men. We have seen, but in Nemwe, we have seen Eritreans who have married Ugandan men, and Eritrean men who have married Ugandan women. We have seen Kenyans who are here marrying Ugandan women, and they have settled. We have seen Ugandan men marrying Kenyan women. So we have seen Nigerians come here and be married. We have women, and most of them when they marry, they don't leave. They buy land and they start staying here. So this one thing has changed. That nowadays, unless you find a kind of a family that is a little bit more rigid about a lot of things, that they are still going to question where does your wife come from. The importance, it is the few of those families that have not really experienced the diversity of those other cultures. Though, like I said the other time, that at times People make decisions according to the experience that has been around them. Together. And some of them are like, you can't do that. Before so and so died, that was, they were killed by that tribe and all that kind of story. But nowadays, people are waking up to realize that tribe is just a tribe. People hardly talk about tribalism except a few.
So those, of course, intertribal relationships or datings, of course, can be attributed to a lot of factors. And one factor is, of course, how we can view these relationships is the historical context where colonial leaders, of course, can't be left out. Colonial history, of course, plays a significant role in shaping ethnic identities and relationships. So, many African countries were arbitrarily divided by colonial powers, leading to the creation of distinct ethnic groups. So, these historical divisions continue to influence social interactions and relationships in, of course, in Africa. The issue of forced ethnic organization, we see that during colonialism, people were often forced to organize themselves along ethnic lines. So this legacy persists, affecting now individuals that perceive their own identity and interact with others from different backgrounds. So a lot of people still have that in their mind is that we don't want to interact with anyone that is behind our culture. There are those riggedy people in Africa that don't want to, of course, to intermarry. However, things, but we have seen cultures is it the Turkana people and the Karamajongs? Oh boy, Turkana thing. That are, of course, that are pastoralists. So it is very hard to see such people moving to urban areas. They keep on moving in bushes, stuff. So it is very hard for such people to intermarry with other tribes. They keep on, of course, marrying within the same tribe. So they keep on moving here and there. So the other factor, we see that the social dynamics like urbanization are more, we see as more people move to cities, urban environments become melting pots of diverse cultures and ethnicities. In these settings, intertribal interactions are more common due to proximity and shared experiences, like I said. So the other thing is, of course, education and exposure. Increased education and exposure to different cultures can lead to greater openness and, of course, acceptance of intertribal relationships. A lot of people have met people of different tribes on, of course, education institutions. A lot of people have learned a lot about African history. A lot of people are hoping to, of course, to that would have joined a lot of groups that are promoting African unity. That's why we see, due to understanding, of course, the dynamics of African history and relationships. So the other thing is the social networks. So interactions through social networks, workplaces, and education institutions provide opportunities for people from different ethnic backgrounds to connect romantically, like social media, Facebook. Mm. Simanyi nange kati mpinza okuloza ku muntu gwesitaaga like I don't even like put much over concentration up to those people oba ki siinayo muntu gwe mmanyi nti ali prominent nnyo 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 nga I follow up those people. I know their character. Kale character nyinza okuba tekibesinga for nnyo 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 but sibalinaako nnyo kye mbamanyiiko kyamaanyi nnyo 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 like oba anything I've ever heard about them. I can picture out like we having over stuff and stuff and stuff. Kuba sirina kyempamanyi.
Okay.
So changing attitude of course shifts over time. Attitudes towards intertribal dating have evolved where young generations are often more open-minded and less bounded by tribal norms. Do you know that we have tribes who are intermarrying? But you may find omwana ng'avuddeyo that have taken that kid to maybe to a certain university n'afunayo pizza oba n'afunayo omuntu omulala ng'ate gw'ayagala. And by the way, a lot of girls have made decisions to different men. Naddala abawala, they have made a lot of decisions that have broken hearts of their fathers.
Omuwala ye ayinza okufungula omusajja famire kwetayagala n'awangaala mu marriage famire y'omusajja bwemwagala naye naye omukazi tosobola kuwangaala musajja mu famire tekwagala.
So the other issue is there of course the desire for compatibility, where individuals seek compatibility beyond ethnicity, focusing on shared interests, values, and personal qualities. The other issue is economic factors, where we see migration and mobility. Economic migration within Africa has increased, leading to cross-cultural encounters. People from different tribes may meet and form relationships during these migrations, and also economic independence, where economic activities such as trade, business, and employment create opportunities for intertribal interactions. Political and social movements, for example, Pan-Africanism movements advocating for African unity and solidarity have emphasized shared identity beyond the tribal boundaries in Africa. The peace-building efforts, of course, to promote peace and reconciliation often encourage dialogue and understanding between ethnic groups, fostering connection. Individual agency, where personal choice, of course, ultimately intertribal dating is a matter of personal choice. So individuals decide whom they want to date based on interaction, compatibility, and shared values. I don't know whether this happened even outside Uganda, even to other black communities in Africa. But in Uganda, there are tribes in Uganda where your parents had to choose for you a woman you're going to marry as a man. Tembo yatugamba mukazi we bamumuwa akyali muto. Like his dad was a lawyer stuff. His dad was a lawyer. Those sides of Congo. Then there is a man. Yagamba Congo. Yagamba Congo yali atunyumiza emboozi ne gundi. Nani? Era yatugamba jjajjaawo azaala tata wali Congo. Walina ekizira embuga. Then that guy said that his father was a lawyer. Then tata waabwe waliwo omusajja edda ng'akyalina muto. Mbu n'akola ki? Mbu like yamuyamba ku musango ne baguwangula Congo eyo. Musango baguwangula, like the man was very happy. Then he said that, you know, oba Tembo yali mu P7. Namugamba, your boy is going to marry my daughter. Then bamuwerako n'ente when he was young. Namugamba, your boy is going to marry my daughter. So Tembo grew up knowing that he's going to marry that woman. Oba ensonga lwaki yamarryinga mama? Ate picha yamukubamba embaga abeera naye waka. So they grew up having that bond. By the way, those things had their advantages and disadvantages, but only you grow up knowing that you're going to marry someone from the other side, you bypass that person every day. The bond grows, the love grows with that person, but all he understands that. However, parents kept those secrets until these kids grew up, understand the importance of relationships. Now they could tell these people, they're going to get married to the other, they will organize.
kati ensobi wejjira kati kyagamba mutembo yeyisanga kitaawe taata w'omuwala
ye kyali kirabo ng'akiwa taatawo teyawa ttemu. It was a gift to his dad, not to Tembo. He was gifting a dad. He was gifting a dad. N'ente ze baagaba tezaali za Tembo. That is different. It was a gift. Good enough Tembo's family was uneducated family staff compared to situation in Congo. It was uneducated family staff. This was also uneducated family, so they decided to gifting ngawataatawe as a gift, so that bond doesn't end between those two families. So they were cementing the bond. Instead of seeing how that David funny, they were funny. A lot of parents got married to wrong men because of their parents. Reason being, the parents could choose for you. The parents could force girls to get married where they don't want to get married, where they don't even know. The mama wange, my mom used like mama used to tell us that for them they used them to move. Tekutambula bikyali naye bwe bamufumbiza waalinganga mu kisenyi ng'ewaabwe wewa. But when they were taking abantu bedda, when they were taking them for marriage, they could cry seriously because they like ebiseera ekisooka yali tamanyi musajja gwe gy'alaga. Ekyokubiri, she doesn't know she's young, she doesn't know what happens to her. Wadde ntitwalibwa ku kyalo kyekimu waliwo byakwana, bamusitula musituzi ne bagenda ne bamumarries kunnyonnyola, bamutwala bamumuna ne bamutwala mu biseera ebyo. Waliwo emmotoka ne bamuteeka mu mmotoka kiro ssaawa nga 9. It's like hijacking. They took her marriage. Ne bamwetoolooza naye nga bwe bamwetoolooza kale like tetunaba tugenzeeyo ndi kulaga bwe bamwetoolooza kalinanga kakodwamu naye oyinza obutakitegeera nalowooza nti bamunyiira bamututuka kyogera kufumbira kumbe ali ku kyalo azaalibwa. However, my dad ku kyalo okwo he had just come to that village because ku kyalo kw'abamu amatata bakusiko bamuzaala wabula yali aliwo ssengaawo. My dad, he had gone to his senga, like he spent a lot of time with his senga. Then they made my mom to get married to my dad. Naye nga walinganga mu kisenyi wali nga waabe wewa nga baleeta ne kulusi baali beera naye nga ate enzizi z'edda they weren't very many. You get water at one fetching point. So ne bamutwala ekiro taata waffe yali yazimba akayumba bakali ka kisenge kimu ne bamuteekayo. Senga wa maama yagenda okuddamu okulaba maama ali lubuto, yagendayo okumulaba nga maama ali lubuto. Awo maama banateruzaala nemutwala ewa jjajjaawe kuba maama yakulira wa jjajjaawe n'azaala. Then that's how she got to realize that the distance was close naye nga takyasobola kunoba. So that is how the matrix was. Nga takyasobola kunamba kuba yali yakiyingidde.
Most of the times they don't end well. Olala edda mukazi yabeeranga mutabaala bazaala ku kyalo mukazi n'abeera mu makaago.
So it was very hard, by the way, for women during those days to be seeing unless they have come for that woman to go to a different area.
Omusajja
It is,
amaani can go to n'abawoman. Nze nkubuulira okusinziira ku mukazi by'aba amukoledde baki kyonna kyonna nga bw'aba amusanyusizza mukazi aneva go to love amaani. But that it is how it is. Unless someone wakes up maturely, Muwongo n'agamba, I just have to focus right now on this because this is what I have. And then you decide to avoid those days. And men used to know you are having a man in a woman, would not have an around magundu oli ali wali osawa kkubo kati awo omukazi w'omutima gye guba gwagala.
babeeranga bwenzi waliwo byakwagala bwenzi because there are even families we see where a woman had more than 3 kids nga batatayo. Ng'oli married kiki ky'oba ogamba? You married. Abaana like you married.
Ali married abazaala bwe. Webake wali yonna wanyuma.
There are situations where there are situations where we go because most of the people like culture, like those days, culture was at stand. It was very hard for someone. However, there are people that used to get married and that used to get pregnant when they are still at the homes of their parents. Maybe said ebisinga, most of these people that could get pregnant, Most of the people that could get pregnant, most of the women that could get pregnant at parents' home, the people that were responsible for these pregnancies, the people that were responsible for these pregnancies, they were the uncles. Were the uncles. They were the uncles because no, they used to have, yeah, they used to have an extended family. Women used not to move during those days. It is men that used to move. No, we didn't know no, we didn't know, like someone like he traveled to Kampala, he left Masaka, he traveled to Kenya, Nairobi, he went to Mombasa. It is men that moved. That's why men used to have kids from different mothers across. For example, when you look at those ancient parents, when you look at it, so I was saying that the people that were used to be responsible for these pregnancies, these were Um, as the 20th century, of course, to a close, we see that the African American communities across this nation are, of course, in crisis, where unemployment, poverty, crime, drug abuse, and HIV/AIDS infection are the record rates. Of course, in many low-income Black, of course, neighborhoods in both urban and rural areas, the undermining of social and economic fabric of the Black community is reflected in the stabilization of African American families. So, single parent families out of uh, uh, of the wedlock births, teenage pregnancy, child abuse and neglect, spousal abuse, and of course homeless among blacks are at alarming levels. So on the other hand, the numbers of blacks today who are college educated, middle class and upper class are unprecedented. So while this is the best of times for many Black families, it is the worst of times, or worst of the times for many other families. So we see that the conversion treatment of Black families, of course, has failed to enhance understanding because it is, of course, fragmented, unbalanced, deficit, and of course, deficit-oriented, static, and of course, historical. I was saying when you look at the marriages in, of course, in Africa prior, for one to get married, for one to get pregnant, had to be, of course, ready, of course, to get pregnant. When you look at Uganda, for example, amongst, like within my tribe, it was very hard for one to get pregnant when he is still at, of course, at the parents' at the parents' house. And I was saying, for those women that got pregnant during that time at the parents' house, the people that were responsible for those pregnancies, those were, of course, cousins, uncles, because people used to live in an extended family. So that's how those pregnancies used to come about. And actually, it was very easy for men. And when you look at the Black, of course, the African parents, what we have now as grannies, these are people that had children for actually in the entire region. Someone is having kids in Kenya, someone is having kids in Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo. Those are our granny parents. Balina n'abaana be twali tetumanyiiko. They even have kids that because men used to move. The movement within men during that time was much, of course, higher than movement within the women. So, so this, of course, made, of course, a lot of men exposed to different societies and, of course, intermarry with a lot of tribes and a lot of communities compared to the communities that they come from. However, they used to have their home, of course, wives, because they don't read about polygamous. I ever told you about the guy we buried the other time? He had over 100 kids. He was a truck driver during those days. He had 100 of them, 100 kids. Of course, you can't get 100. Someone can't be having 100 kids from one woman. There must be a number of women within. So, uh, navigating relationships uh, before, of course, colonization, to me, I think it was something which was good to me. To me, I think it was good navigating relationship because, like getting married to different, of course, races, to different communities. To me, it was good. To me, it was good because when you look at the situation, you have never told us here about the short history of Kenyatta. Is it Kenyatta? No, Nyerere. Kenyatta. You ever told about that short story about Kenyatta and Uganda? So if at all this of course Ugandan king, this Bunyoro king had not moved those ends, we wouldn't be seeing Kenyatta today.
Bro looks like his brother, who is the current king now. Ah, it's very funny. But you know
And
what
by
I'm
the way,
doing now?
that of course still illustrates that Africa is one community. Africa can't be separated because people used to move. Besides those of course, exilements that were made by the British during those days, that people used to move and produce. People used to intermarry. Apart from these modern factors that we see that are based on money, opportunities, a fetish. I want brown kids.
Mm.
Eh? I want tall kids. I want such kids. People have categories of kids they want, and if at all a woman doesn't get such kids, wabanga mukazi wabadde ayagala omwana oyo aba tamwagala.
Mm. There's this article I've got this video. I saw one of the celebrities. This woman, married a white guy, and they gave birth to their kid, and the guy was blonde. He had blonde hair, and then this baby had black hair like the mom, and her skin was also not light as the father. So the guy was dyeing the baby's hair and trying to change the baby's skin. Yeah, the dad wanted to see the daughter having that blonde hair, not black, and he wanted to see the baby more light, not darker like the mom. So I even wondered, like, why did he date the mother?
I've seen a lot of women reaching their kids, very little kids. You find the kid is so brown in the face, but the entire body is chocolate.
So that one is even children having dark knuckles, both on their hands and on their and the ankles and the toes, even the veins of the children having red punches. I've seen this one time at St. Peter's. I was taking some out for there. So we reached there one time. I saw every parent was looking at that little girl, and the mother was so proud. Well, yeah, primary. Come on, we are in a nursery. They had come to register a child for the first time, and everyone was looking at this innocent child. You don't know how many sicknesses you are, of course, exposing your child to, you know, because now you find that this kind of mothers, their husbands are light skinned. They purposely went for they purposely went for these men to have these light skinned babies. But again, you give birth to a child who looks like you, and then you're starting to change because you hate yourself, and now you are hating the baby. You know.
Difference. And we stop bleaching our children's skins.
Ntasatira kumwana kumutraumatize.
I'm very ready. It is unethical. But it's financial one. Immediate. I catching my lunch break. What's up, people?
Wakaveri.
Hello,
Inonya ku TikTok.
hello, Jibu Jabba. How are you? Did you have final exams yet?
Almost. Not yet, but we are about. We are about. We are about Jibijaba.
Watch out, you get to Jale.
Nedda. Namugamba twagala mutumalire ebibuzo byaffe tukoledde kyanaye. Kwanza kulabulira bandikulayo.
Santa Butoga. I would watch it. So get out. They are the first things that come here. Asina njisira wakati mbira wabudde kinzaala beera talina wadde wifi just to get a couple of minutes now. Look at this guy. However, look at him.
Omusajja oli ebisuubirwamu biri ebyabadde afundudde ate muzeeyi omusajja oli afundudde ebiso. Are you serious? Kini engeri wetyo
Galingamu he's like 16.
njagala okwamazimula nze nanoonyeza engoye zambulu nekula namutuulirayo ekyabbaso.
I'm not seeing those stuffs.
Siko katopiki gyaki naye kamuteeka nyiga ku video.
Yeah, that's very nice guy. This guy.
Watukola ekigambo tunis.
If you ever says that you all look tired from studying, go get some Ugandan coffee. We are not tired.
Breaching is not cheap. For you to breach like me, you understand, it's not cheap. I did not. She breached her skin. I did not breach my skin. But normally, even if I breach my skin, breaching is not cheap. For you to breach and be flawless like me, you understand, it's not cheap. I did not. She breached her skin. I did not breach my skin. But normally, even if I breach my skin, breaching is not cheap. For you to breach and be flawless like me, you understand, it's not cheap. I did not. She breached her skin. I did not breach my skin. But
I said sometime back. This is something I said sometime back. We have seen some women. I think they think bleaching your skin or turning your skin to a different color is a sign of wealth, or is a sign that you have money. You know, to the point that You'll find women selling coal. I hope you all know charcoal. Coal. And in Africa, when people are selling coal, usually it, of course, remains in your hands. So you'll even find a woman who's selling coal. The moment her coal business booms, she start buying some cheap bleaching cream, and at times you are looking, for me, at times I look at them when they are funny. Someone will be selling you coal, and when you check in between their fingers, when there is a different color entirely, this other finger has been filled with the coal and all that. But women do this, and I think, like she said, that bleaching is not cheap. So in other words, she's trying to say other people don't bleach because they cannot afford to bleach. It's expensive. And all that. Hmm? Please. It's crazy where I'm located. It's the reverse. Turning salons are big business with the Mzungus. You understand? That's what you give us. Of course, turning businesses are big businesses with the Mzungus. And actually, there are also Bazungus who bleach. I don't know why. They be toning, I don't know, or bleaching, I don't know. I've also seen Arab people who are bleaching. I've also seen Philippines, or the Philippines also bleaching. I've also seen Indonesians bleaching. I've also in a times like I see them like they are white enough
Not to bleach.
not to bleach, but for them, I think they feel like they are dark, too dark, and they want to bleach. There is a video that was circulating actually on 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 Facebook, and it was about a Ugandan showbiz woman. She said she was in her late 40s, but if you looked at the other woman, you would think she's in her early 30s, or she's just clocking 30. And that she was dark skin, her body was looking good, and she was dressed. The way she had wore, she was like like a young lady and stuff. And everybody was like, it is very hard for you to see a woman mention their age, but she had no reason why to be ashamed of her age. First of all, her body was looking so extremely beautiful that the moment she mentions her age, you all remain in a wow. And a lot of people were like, this is what happens when women don't temper with their skin. You might, and I've realized this with, some, I've realized this with the people who have not, tempered with their skin. There is a certain time, there is a certain age they reach at, and they stay stagnant on that age for apparently something like 30 years. They are not moving from that particular they're not moving from that particular age. And you'll be like, every time I look at this woman, all these years I come across this man, all this woman, I'm grown, I'm something like 30 plus now. And I saw them when they were like in their 30s, and they still look like 30. There is that time that comes, more especially with Black people, Africans. And when you bleach your skin, there is that rejuvenation. There is that strength your body usually has when you're young. There are those health first. There is that collagen. There is that strength, and your body, elasticity that your body has. And when you grow to a certain age, everything starts getting loose. Now, you may bleach and see that you're looking good at a certain age, and you're going to be celebrating your bleaching skin each time. And
Mm. Mm.
I said that slow. The person will start quoting what I say. And you see, um, but there is a certain time where, because remember when you bleach at times, you have to continuously keep doing this. They usually say if you go for injections, you don't need more injection. No, you may not need constant injections. You may not need constant bleaching pills, but at least you will require to take these things at least every after something like 7 months or a year. It depends, but you will still have to use them. Now there is a time where you're going to use these things and they cannot, and all they are doing is crush you down. And this is what we've seen with all the bleached people. And at times someone is in her 40s, she's gonna make 50s, and she's like, I want to go back and be black. You can never be black the same as you can never be as black as you were before. Because now your skin is like a wound. All right. Someone is like someone has had sunburn. Your skin turns into a scar, but a black scar. So whenever you tamper with your skin, it is very hard for it to regain its beauty, more especially if you're trying to play with its tone. Now, a lot of people be doing this. I remember Innocent asked me something like, I don't see a lot of bleach old people. What happens to them? We were having a discussion. They don't want even to be seen. They don't want even to be seen. Time comes, they start covering their heads like they are Muslims. They don't want to be seen. They know they look so disgusting. Now, every time people make decisions with everything in their life, they should remember that is this decision I'm making right now going to be the best decision 5 years to come? Is this going to be is it going to have better results 5 years, 10 years to come? Unless you're expecting to die tomorrow, all right, unless you're going to kill yourself, because at times nobody knows when we are going to die. So if the decisions you are making, you're not going to be comfortable with the same decisions 5 years to come, then don't. In every aspect, be it relationship, be it your social life, be whatever it is that you want to do. If at all you're not going to be comfortable with this, then don't do it. Jim Jabba says it's unnatural. Your shade is in complement with your facial and body structure. Changing it makes you look weird. My opinion. I know one of the biggest celebrity here. I'm not gonna mention her name.
Politicians.
No, she's a showbiz. She's a showbiz woman. She's extremely light. A lot of people say she's cross. She's she's a Morato with Indian, and then from our tribe and stuff like that. But she wasn't. She is a Morato, but she wasn't extremely light like though she is now. If you look at her, you think she's a white woman, but if you look at her facial, like the cheeks have fallen right here, and she hardly smiles. I guess I don't know why she doesn't like smiling, but I think she doesn't like doing this because it brings out everything she doesn't want people to see. And even when she's quiet, she talks like I don't know. Maybe she puts that I don't know what happens. But when she's talking, her mouth does not shake all the time. But most of the time, she's trying to control her facial appearance. And how can you be living under such stress and pressure because of what you did to yourself? You want to laugh, and the next time someone is laughing, you say, you hold all this part and you're laughing. Why are you doing that? And so, but why should you live in that uncomfortable life because of whatever it is you did to yourself? There is a certain time, there is a certain age. No, I know she doesn't. She really, really doesn't. It is her face because her cheeks are falling just down her jaw. I don't know why she doesn't go for that. They call it first lifting or stuff because she has joined the surgery department. So it would be fun she does that. I know she's in plan, I know. And when she does, definitely she's gonna be laughing all the time. But there are a lot of things, and I know it is absurd that we are seeing a lot of men also involving themselves in these surgeries. People go for surgeries to get six packs. People do a lot, but it is absurd. Now, if men have started doing this, women can be stupid, we can be silly, and the world is not surprised. But when it comes to a man doing such, yeah,
Surgery.
ayagala bbeere.
Ndowooza kukola bemabega. Nze ndomanyi oli ebyokola. Ajja nakuwa onyumira okusinga.
When men start doing such kind of thing, then we know we are having a lot of castrated men.
No, on TikTok, we normally see men behaving like women. So it is not a surprise that men. It is not a surprise that men have also resorted to what? I've also resorted to those post surgeries, facial surgeries, nose surgeries. Someone wants to become slim. Someone wants to becoming slim. Someone they have those desired. I don't know over for what, or for celebrity hood stuff. I don't know, but people are going in for different surgeries to look more and more advanced.
How is it use the word advanced
For me, I
now?
guess this because a lot of filters, people want to live like that filtered life.
The filters you see
They
that
want to
beautify.
look in reality like the way we see, of course, filtered photos.
I would support surgery if it is for health reasons. I really do. If at all it is you have to remove something that is endangering your life, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, truth to be told, all these things have a repercussion. All these things have a side effect. You see, and it is just weird. Why should a man go for surgery to have six packs? I don't know even how they end up having six packs. We've seen people going to surgery to have big asses. The women, they cut some flesh, and usually their legs are usually a little bit weird. Especially those people get surgery, and at times I'm like, how will this woman even be able to manage her body when the legs are tiny and this other body is, me? I don't know. Maybe I just have weird imaginations, but then I'm worried about how the legs are going to carry that entire body, because I learned that they cut some flesh from your thighs, from your, down your legs. They cut stuff to add on your bum. And so whenever I see women do that, I'm not always like, surprised. Women have been doing a lot of things, cutting off their eyebrows and then again rewriting the eyebrows again. Someone wants the eyebrow like this. So it is not new. Women, we do a lot of things. You cut your original thing to put an artificial thing, and you wear 7 tons of makeup. You saw the other advert. I'm sorry. I'm not like trying to say makeup is bad, but it is okay to wear makeup. Sometimes I feel like I want to wear some makeup, or at least some simple makeup. Yeah, I put a little bit. But there are times when things go extreme. You know what? Now. The other video INNOSSETU was showing. So a Ugandan woman wearing makeup, she was advertising it is waterproof. So I was like, Don't these people know that the body breathes? Don't they know that the skin has to breathe? So you are closing your entire the pores. You're closing them not to be able to breathe the way they are supposed to breathe. And this is why usually people after using that, when they wipe their skin, they always have that weird skin because the body has not been breathing, for some time. It has not been receiving what it's supposed to receive or withdraw from. But of course people do this, okay? People do this. And it is very funny because for me, I ask, like, I don't know with people outside Africa because I've also learned there are other women who can marry a lot of men. At times I keep also asking myself, like, um is it that someone is not so satisfied with whatever it is about them? Okay, it is okay to look good, I understand that, but like I said before, if at all anything is going to of course have everything to temper with your health, your well-being, I think it is not worth it. If at all they say that, Maria, you're gonna have surgery and probably we're gonna cut off your nose. I know my nose is big. And someone's gonna say they're gonna cut off your nose. And but there is a chance that, Maria, your nose is gonna have issues. In fact, I don't want to cut. Why should I cut on my nose? My nose does not have issues. I breathe just like anybody else does. If I'm at all I look at, okay, if I go for surgery, then probably they change my nose, and then I'm supposed to keep on going for surgery. Yeah, because the time surgeries are not permanent. And am I really ready to go through this pain, like throughout? And then you'll find even someone is even married, someone chose you with your nose, and then you decide, and then somebody will say, I just want to look so confident in the presence of others. The very people are the people who are going to judge you for your nose being small again. And then you're going to have backlashes. You cannot be pleasing people. What? There is, people will say, I just want to be comfortable. By the way, I'm a very shy person. Now, most people don't know. I think, and not because of anything or I want to be stuff. It is just my nature. Not because me, but at times when I look, there are things people do that make me feel shy, and I decide to. I like the people be doing a lot of things out there. Now, me, it is not that sometimes I have a friend who said, Maria, it's like you're so afraid of being in a crowd. I'm not. It's just that people be doing a lot of things that not because of me, but when I look at them do those things, I start questioning. A lot of things start running on my mind. And then someone may utter a word and I feel so out of place. Not because it is me who has uttered this word, but because I've heard someone utter that particular word, and I'm like, okay, so, you know. So, but a lot of people will be saying, I want to be confident. Okay, it is okay for you to be, by the way. But the biggest question is, at what risk are you doing this? Are you safe at the end? Are you ready to be doing this again and again? Are you ready to face the consequences of this, the medical consequences, the health consequences, the weakness? Because the more you do surgeries, whether you like it or not, the more you do surgeries, the more you become, you know, of course, you are, first of all, your strength. I'm not a fan of crowds. Me too, really. Me too. But the more you do surgery, the more you put your life at risk. That is one. The more your lifespan reduces. That's two. And of course, your immune system, your strength, and everything changes. So, is everything worthy for you to do? Is it worthy? Like I said, are you doing this just because you're young and you want to do it? Are you going to appreciate this very thing when you are in your 50s, when you are in your mid 40s, late 40s, 60 years? Are you going to appreciate you are making yourself appear now? Right? So I at times most of us hardly think about these things. And this is why, in many cases, you find that people end up doing a lot of decisions. And in the end, I wish I never did, because right now I'm experiencing this kind of bullshit. I'm leaking. My ass is leaking. My ass is falling. You are like a bag that is filled with water. My ass is falling. I need to go for more surgery. And then you start soliciting money all over social media for your surgery, like we did solicit for you the first time you were doing it. Are you? Because the truth to be told, you are growing old. There are things that your body cannot control. And there are things that your body will stop controlling. When your muscles become loose, when your skin becomes loose, what is going to happen to the surgery? And then your body is going to be looking weird. And you will look at people that probably maybe you thought you look more beautiful those days when you are young, when even they look extremely younger than you, and you cannot do a thing about it. I know one celebrity here, she traveled to the US. She was a dancehall artist, but she was doing in vernacular. She was doing her dancehall thing in her local language. And then artists, when they are called to have concerts, most of them in Africa, most of the African artists don't come back. She was known and she didn't come back. We grew up as children, listen to this woman. And when she went, of course, she had to do some surgeries. I don't know what again happened to her. Now she came back. She's so swollen, like she's swollen. Her face is so. After doing this surgery, I think she has been with this surgery for a very long time. Her face is now swollen, her tummy is extremely big, and the entire body is just so swollen. And I'm just like, what happened to her now? She doesn't have money to do another surgery, and her body is looking weird. And now she's gonna say, I'm ready to settle and not do a lot of weird things, when she's deteriorating and everything is getting spoiled. In our language, I don't know how to translate that to in English and sit a Congo. So,
You can't understand the word.
to say that I should direct translate it, that you cannot harvest the world. You cannot. We find these things here and we leave them here, and you cannot harvest things that you see around, because these are things that have been here. But what are you leaving behind? That's the most important thing. I've seen a lot of people, more especially women who have done surgery in Africa. They remove their ribs. A grown-up woman can remove her ribs when she knows, maybe now I don't want to have kids, I don't want to do stuff. And then someone young also removes her. You are in your 20 years, and you're removing your ribs to have that weird waist that even doesn't look like normal. And you want to have that waist, they go and remove your ribs. You go through that painful, because you know how painful the ribs are. And then you remove them. You are 20, and as you're making 28, now you start thinking, how there is nothing that pains, there is nothing painful as regret. Because when you regret about something, you're going to regret for the rest of your life, no matter the therapy, no matter the psychological doctors you are going to meet. Regret is the worst pain that can hurt. And now you'll be thinking, how I wish. But when it's too late, nobody's gonna put that trip back. Unless I'm gonna put some iron stuff in your body. And somebody goes ahead and says, we are doing this for the men, we are doing this for the women. There is no way you're going to tell me, and it is true. And some others will say, we are doing this for ourselves. You lie. Hmm. Because there is no way you're going to say you're doing that for yourself. Now, why should a man have six packs? You're doing your six packs. The six packs you cannot even see when you have, unless you look yourself in the mirror. You're doing them for other people to see. You go for surgery, you put those six packs, and trouble come, you have breast like for the women, the fallen breast. So before we had, there is a time where we had, like I said, buli kimu kijja ne kigenda. There is a moment where everyone in Africa knew that for a white man to date you as an African woman, you have to be slim. This and because now even the black women started gauging, because now they want to put their level on the white man's level. I even don't know how slim your mother is at home for you to start demanding someone's daughter to be unhealthily slim. That even women started going without food, eating 3 pieces of biscuits with a glass of water throughout the day, and to make sure that they maintain that tiny body and stuff. That time was there when we were kids. Every woman wanted to be slim. It was, I don't know, because and they knew each time, if you want to, of course, attract white men who have traveled to Africa, those curvy women and thick curvy women shouldn't even reach there. Don't go there, because
Back so I don't look. I'm trying to get my six pack back so I don't look like a fat duck. I will have more endurance.
it is okay to get six packs from the gym than you going for surgery. All right. It is okay for you to have the six packs in the gym, because this is something you are building. Your body takes time to manage the metabolism and everything. Your body creates these six packs through a process, not you waking up one time, boom. The next morning, we are seeing Jib Jabba with the six packs. What is it? So, like I was saying, so there are places that even when you would reach um at the bar or a club, most especially where a lot of people would come, most especially the white, of course the bouncers or bouncers, yeah, I guess bouncers over there, would stop curvy women, thick women from entering, because it was believed most of these white men want slim women. And every slim woman would almost move like they're almost naked with their, of course, the nerves out, and all that, and wearing their jeans, and they're trying to wear the Western style to attract the bazungus and stuff. And now men also, I don't know what happens with black men. So the African men started loving what the bazungus were loving. So if he wants to go out to, of course, like a party, um like an end of year company party stuff, then they get those slim ladies, because no, it's bazungus. And at that time, remember, most of the bazungus were working and heading some, managing some big companies and stuff. And of course, you have to have a woman who's going to match a mzungu for you to show you are a man on a certain level. And your wife at home is curvy and all that. Ah, so time came. We are now seeing the white men dating curvy women, which is a little bit, I don't know with other countries, but in Uganda, most of the white men that are dating Ugandan women, they are dating curvy women. Now women are running, they want to be curvy. Now we have got companies. We have got companies that are selling fake products. They keep taking people's money. Ah, we are making your bums if you want to have hips, and women are spending money in those fake things. They are buying the herbs all the time, because now they are seeing, each time you see a Ugandan woman with a Mzungu, she's a Kabi woman, and a Mzungu is marrying this woman. Now everyone who was slimming down is trying to look for ways of having carbs and all that. Why should it be that way, really? No, white men love big, thick black women, but they want their women, Karen Becky, skinny with Now here, that is what we used to think. And now here we are seeing this is changing. And actually, this is changing, more especially with those who come here. And those ones who have been here, I guess, for a very long time. And then I don't know what also made the women think that if you are dating a white man, you should stay unkept all the time. They even come to the bank with slippers. And at times they're like, they are going mad. At times I even ask, you're dating white people, turn you into a mad person. How can you even live with your slippers, with this whatever thing they put on their head? I don't know. And they're coming to the bank to withdraw money. They are looking weird, and boom, they enter. And I think maybe because, and I've seen the same thing with men who are dating Bazoom. You'll find a man is we. I think they love it when they look like animals. No, I'm sorry to say.
Tattoo.
No, forget about that tattoo. There is the way they make them look. I think there is that fetish. We are talking about fetish. It is true when some people say Africa, black people are something else. That's something I'm not going to mention here because YouTube may take down my channel. Someone probably, they said, don't shave, stay like that. Don't even trim. I want you to look like that. Zinja's thrown pass. Don't please even comb. Don't brush your beard. I want it to look. I think those are the things they fancy. For whatever reasons, I've seen people who are doing this looking extremely funny. Extremely funny. They always say at times when women are pregnant, they enjoy to smell when their husbands are dirty. I don't know. Maybe there is that fetish those people also have. So you look at someone how they are dressed, or stuff like that. But this is how they want them to be. I don't know how, I don't know why it is like that. That is something I can never tell, but at least this is something I've seen. And now, for the people to think that each time what a Mzungu wants is what you should want is wrong. It's wrong. I was giving you an example of things that are actually going on down here. A lot of people, I've experienced a lot in the hands of black men. I've gone through a lot, and someone's going to say, I'm looking on dating sites. I'm looking for a white man to give me peace. I'm looking for a white woman who's going to understand. So if your people have failed to understand you, then this white woman is going to understand you. I'm looking for, I've gone through a lot. I'm looking for whatever. And for the fact that a lot of people think that Bazungus are financially stable also baffles me, because I know a lot of Bazungus are broke. Apart from these, all the people who are living on their retirement money,
Pension.
the pension, and they're coming for vacations, but a lot of these people are broke. The only permanent house you are going to have that is your own is where you are going to be buried. And I also learned when time comes, they remove those dead bodies and they rebury in those cemeteries.
Someone told me that to get money, like within these Wazungus, you get it when you're still dating, but after getting married and you're in a relationship,
they cannot. Ndoza abasajja bonna ate kati aba amaze okufuna nkwagaza ki
even the women,
kawunga oba okasuula temulidde
even the women. It is because if the man is elite,
we wouldn't be with her too. She would have to level up to match everything.
so I've seen a lot of young men besides these normal relationships that we are seeing. But to me, Echi? To me, I failed to really, of course, understand the matrix or how the game is played with these homosexuals, the LGBTQ. Because I've seen very many. Let me talk about the Ugandan young men that have, of course, went to USA, UK in the name of being homosexuals or LGBTQ stuff. But these are people that have left Uganda and, of course, dated the same Ugandans. Have dated the same Ugandans who have been in USA for some good time. So, like people say, that these people have a lot of money and stuff. I don't know how this game is played because I don't see these people having that money they talk about. Secondly, why is it that they are not dating the Bazungus? They are dating their fellow Ugandans. Yeah? So they act as prostitutes to them. Yeah?
They act as prostitutes.
To these Bazungus.
Yeah. Yes, I believe you can go yiga kulekeo umukwata.
And they always look for fresh people. There is this Chigai, this Chigai, the guy once got married to a Muzungu old woman. Then the guy said that he was, I don't know whether he was called Sacramento. Is there any place that is called Sacramento in USA? I don't know. Let me Google here and I see. Michigan, Sacramento.
Michigan.
So he said Michigan, it is a village. Yeah? Is it true? Sacramento, California. Is in California. And Michigan. He said that he was, of course, harassed. Or is it harassing? Should I call it harassing by these white women? Like the woman which I got married to, they would have sex, they enjoy, they have pleasure. After that, that woman sends that guy to another woman after getting that. Then that woman also, like he said that he rotated it, like in 3 places. There were like 6 women in those places, so they would rotate him, exploit him like that. Not for man until he's married. That's why he came back here broke. That's why he came here broke. He came back here very broke.
bitagasa banyange n'omwosa muyinza okwekwanga bulungi ne mwewandikira neereka agakatono mugulu ne mufuna satifiketi obulamu bw'abanfumu bakukontrolinga topama tokola ki
So can't you divorce as a man?
balina n'okudifuuzinga ne bakudifootingira
How about those people that have
n'okuba nga
got green card?
byali byaddala tebikyaliwo ate nkugambye bakudifootinga n'okumwewoma omulaba muyimbi muno yakomawaali
Sematimba Maddox. And I guess he was deported back here.
mukazi akulimirira kasita mwawukana nti oganye ofuuka papeti tokukkiriza kufuna malala mpozi mugenda okwawukana ng'olina kaadi naye ate omukazi naye okuwa kaadi akubeerera wakisa okusoboza kuba eyo kaadi bagikuwa yamaze kusalawo kati oli nayagala oba epapeti etasanga akukkiriza afuna kaadi abasajja be basinga owa abakazi kaadi for the benefit of their children bwebisa ebisinga abakazi bagenda n'abaana kati aba akimanyi kamuwe abaana
How about this incident where we have seen a lot of prominent people taking their women to, of course, give birth in USA?
bw'ozaalirayo omwana abamutuuyi
Automatic.
bayibaali
Now, which benefits?
bite mwayagala dda bayibaali
So, if I can even have an hour, most of their kids have been
kati abo balina dual citizen bo bali batiketi efulumirawo nga kuliko nnyo batiketi omwana efulumirawo okuva mu system ekulaga nti alizanafuna bo balina citizenship bayibaali
And most of we have citizenship by birth. Our citizen. But yeah, but we have seen a lot of people that have not, like if I tell you you're Ugandan. So if he comes back here, about
abanyarwanda nga beekalakala kati batuzaalira eno kitegeeza tebagamba batulira eno naye batukola ki batuzaalira eno bwakomawo wano baafuna eyawano
that even decide it can be possible necessary get all the dramas.
Then they said that oba baali babagoba one time abazungu baabalebuli n'omuganda we yamiitinga munne ne bagamba n'omuna nsonyiwa ze yaleze kano akavuyo ng'abazungu bebabuli bonna balina ebikuma baatambula.
So kati kyova olaba like esaza nga like when you look at that count of what of Maobo that is very big. Impiji nene, you know that Impiji is stretching up paka Wakiso. Impiji at Yualia, that is the place is considered to a president because Impiji is one of those old kings.
Byonna byali byebimu byagabira muganda we mugabe yalulunkana bululunkani n'agaleka okwataakirira munne ate olaba bundi eyo yayita bwetyo yeetoolola ebuyaga bweti ne bayingira tizedi kyokka tizedi ng'oyise Masaka waliyo abantu aboogera ng'olulimi lwaffe and they name their culture their
Coach, when you go to that county that is called the Coach, they speak, most of the Coach people are not Baganda. That's why by the way those people. That's why. Like that's why those people they wanted to separate. That's why those people they wanted to separate from Uganda. That guy who holding that courtship though. He wanted to separate from Uganda because like Buganda they because it was a separate place from Uganda. Our Bugandan language so see for me I've seen a lot of blacks. However, I've not seen very many she was a man. Like I mean, when a man is an African marrying a woman which is an African American, I've not seen those relationships. Because of why? Men. They don't want African. So they get married to the Wazungus. So they have a different perspective about Africa.
Yes, most of them. Yes, that's you, but most of them.
See,
I don't think they need their own entirely. Bwekasera kupostinga bintu bibiri ebikwata ku Bafirika kutuma abakyala Bafirika bwe bali kugenda ebiza olumu mbagamba naye nga nako tunako kwogera ku bikolomero by'amukola naye ng'olaba there is too much hate
between them. But why is it that the men are different?
N'abakazi ba Black Ocean Network they are fine. Abasajja bevati. Kati waliwo n'abali mu Black Ocean Network abakyagalira ddala nti tukiwe obulyogolera atulukule.
So, but the issue of course a relationship, I thought it goes beyond boundaries. There is a way those people, the Bazungu picture themselves toward Africans. For me, when I was growing up, whenever I could see Bazungus, you could see whenever I could see them at school, you could see maximum respect, starting from where the head teacher. No, I almost see. Yeah, you see how those people become stupid before the Bazungus. They organize in Gabatigekera okuyimba essaawa ekyo. We are going to sing for the Bazungus. They organize the entire schedule. You see all the people going down, becoming stupid. The
Nze kuba otudde ogabaha agamba akola baganda bange kye baakola gwe abaana
baganda baabwe.
kumala emyaka gyange.
Those people give me something. Ate ebintu ebyo byali awo, ebintu baabinywesa agakatonda naddala muganda oyo mukulu nali ndibula.
Oli ojja kukkakkana. Kati gwe tuyambala ebiyinza okuba nga birina n'ekyebyakutuusa kutwala bukaseera lwaki obeera n'entondo ezenkana ebyawe.
Olaba nze nali nina eddalu nga liri extreme. Nze sinalaba olaba
Walina eddalu naye tewalina ntondo.
baganda bange
Abakyagala eddalu
baganda bange
ani akuba bulayi.
abantu beebaza. You see, like baganda bange abawala, they have given back to kids. Abalina eddalu. Charles oyo gwe nagamba mwana wa muganda that boy is stubborn. Yandika stubborn n'ensi yange. I was stubborn. Ebyaddala sikwekaza. My childhood was so. Childhood yange yali ya vibe. Nze yakyana ennyumba.
Why do you call it a vibe?
yali erina vayibu nze ate ngaekintu nkikwatako kati olaba kati bannange ate nga nnenuuna nze olaba ekintu newenkwata ku wifi ng'eno nzekakanga bino byonna ate nga nkuze nno bino byonna naye nga simanyi kintu kintuma ngoyinza okwekanga kino kyonna kyonna nga nkisumuluddeko kyokka ate mu mutima gutandika okunkuba bagenda kunkuba ng'omutima rediyo
No, they have that doing that because no, I'm watching.
rediyo
No, I'm children.
Polina, nagiza kwata rediyo zirakula. I grew up on like my mom used not to allow me to touch his radio, and whenever our radio could get something, nga bagamba nti nze nemba nga kisinzi akakatonda. But there is something my mom was so crazy when I was young. Olaba amanda agenda gye bagateeka mu rediyo nabo magamba amanda nagakyusiza waba akomeza okola gatuukirako mbulino syalire sse wano ayomereekya ng'ayomereekyo like I did not leave like this battery, I did not leave it this way, you might have opened this radio. That's how I grew up. Nze ng'ekintu kikwatako kati n'ekintu nekisajjo kyokka after doing all that my past
Yeah, scared.
gamanyi bagenda kunkuba mateeka
I used not to spoil things.
Okay, I remember we used to have a tree, a mango tree. It wasn't our favorite for us. We tried to finish it because we tried to ban it. Quality pangisa somewhere. So we weren't owning any tree. But there was a tree, it was acting as a fence as well as that boundary thing. It could separate two lands. Then that tree could stretch the other side. Actually, there was a road inside, then that tree could stretch inside a certain garden of a certain person. That guy used to have, those traps, the traps for animals in the garden. So we could fear so much that garden. So one time I climbed that tree. By the way, that tree, but it did not have an actual. By the time I climbed it, it wasn't that I was looking for mangoes. Just the video like your kids, you're playing around. So I climbed the tree. That is the day I realized towards that tree. Waliwo amalaalo manyi nga namalaalo g'eddanga abantu bwe baziika mbu babijanjaalo weegatyo nagwa mu ddaalo omugogo gwesooka mu ddaalo nagenda okulaba akasala nakaaba amazika.
You thought you were going to die. You had buried yourself.
Nagenda okulaba akasala akali mu kuvunda. I started crying terribly.
I wonder that was such true. You were crazy. I've not been that hostile. Hello, do you know you will live and die?
I was so stubborn, extremely stubborn. That's why because things when I was growing up, like other people could advance. I couldn't put much time on those things where you influence what and what. I could create my own history. Sagale byombo ate like I'm watching Simanya football. Simanya I follow up Simanya now Arsenal is doing